make sure you have your snacks ready. You are watching an OEN Sports presentation. Welcome back to the Daytona 200 presented by Smash Beer, the ARLA Elite Series season opener, brought to you by OEN Sports. In case you missed the pre-race show, I'm Scott Bush alongside Earl McDermott. Now, Scott, one of the biggest things we've been talking about this week is the fact that we have 13 drivers making their first ARLA Elite Series starts today. That's right, we've got Paul Lyons on the outside pole, Michael Madrigal, Jack Lucas Sampson, and Devin Rogers up in the top 5 as well. Well, the drivers are in their cars, and the track has been cleared off from the pre-race festivities. Let's go trackside with our Grand Marshal, Walter Fogelson, for the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines! You did a wonderful job, honey. Thanks, Mommy.
Walter Fogelson, ladies and gentlemen, was chosen by Smash Beer in their recent sweepstakes to give the command for this race. Isn't that kid, 11? And he entered a beer company's contest? Just roll with it. The pace car will now lead the field off pit road and around the track for a couple pace laps, and then we're going to turn them loose for 80 laps. While the field is warming up, let's take a look at the starting lineup. In the front row, it is Milano Rossini with, I believe, his first ever pole in the Elite Series. And then Paul Lyons on his outside with his patched-up 55 car. In row number 2, we have Michael Madrigal and Jack Lucas Sampson making their first starts. Sampson claims to have not shaved in 10 years, in case you couldn't tell. Devin Rogers, replacing the injured Lucas Hunter, is on the inside of row 3 with Jessica Graham on his outside. These two are also making their first starts. In row number 4, Darrell Sullivan makes his return to Elite Series competition, even if it is a part-time ride. The 93 car for MSB Racing. And then on his outside, Kevin Colley returns to Elite Series competition in the 58 car for Martinez Autosport. Row number 5, we have rookie shootout winner Rachel Gonzalez, and then Ricky Navarro returning to the same 34 car he got booted out of a year ago. It's going to be interesting to see how he performs after his absence. On the inside of row 6, it is James Battaglia replacing the suspended Ricky Gonzalez for this race. Benji Flynn will take over that car for race 2. And then Dale Underwood on his outside. In row 7, we have Todd Stater, who for the first time in his career has been locked into a race, with Leigh Gruel on his outside, entering his sophomore season. Row 8 will be Bernie Fellows making his first start in his own 188 car, with Kyle Eckerton, Leigh Gruel's part-time teammate, on his outside. Eckerton's only run 2 races so far, but he's shown a lot of promise in those races. Row number 9, Toby Armstrong, who, despite having the undamaged Burr car, was slower than Paul Lyons. And then Kevin Monroe on his outside, sporting new colors on that 63 car. In row 10, it will be Bobby Porteau taking over that famous 64 car for this season, with Ricky Flush moving over from the RROL on his outside. Row 11 will be Taylor Brillin with 4-time champion Andy Pearson on her outside, who is also closing in on his 60th victory. And if last season was any indication, he will have no trouble doing that. In row number 12, we have Jeb Klinger making his first start at Daytona in 32 years, with Alex Carson on his outside, moving over into the new 28 car for Pearson Sweeney Motorsports. Row 13, it will be Amy Harrison giving the Quebec Motor Company its first ARLA Elite Series start, with Sean Donnelly on her outside, moving over into the Riggs Motorsports 08 car. In row 14, we have Scott Morales driving the Grove 76 full-time this season, with Allie Riggs on his outside. Row 15, Kurt Walker making his first start as an owner-driver, and Jason Bates in the familiar red and white number 51 car. On the inside of row 16, we have Brenda Riggs making her first start with M&J Racing, and on her outside, Olivier Martinez, who is the owner of Martinez Autosport and was ironically the slowest Martinez car in qualifying. Row 17 will be Packer Carroll, who was voted ARLA's most popular driver last season, and Frank Haxon, who actually got a dislocated shoulder in his rookie shootout wreck, but he was cleared to race. Frank Haxon's cousin Sarah, who at 6'7", is the tallest driver in the Elite Series, will start on the inside of row 18 with Megan Alden on her outside. In row 19, Luis Tellez and David Connors will be making their first starts in the Elite Series. Tellez actually attempted a few races last year but didn't qualify for any of them, while Connors is a rookie. Row 20 will be Leslie Riggs and Namimura taking over the championship-winning 39 car, which is now under the ownership of Kurt Walker. And finally, in the last row, it will be Lucas Sweeney taking over the Pearson Sweeney 8 car, with Siju Dejao starting in last. That barbecue sauce all over Dejao's face and suit. Come to think of it, he was eating ribs. Driver's barbecue pictures.